Road rage on the rise.
We're on our way somewhere. We have started off already late.
How to survive a dangerous encounter. Morning medals and mimosas.
And a virgin Caesar or a mocktail or a coffee, and just enjoy the atmosphere with a bunch of people.
The city moves to allow early drinking during the Winter Olympics. And blood, burgers, and beer. Donating blood as brothers for almost 3 decades.
I never would have thought it, and it's a good time to socialize and catch up with the guys.
CTV News with Stefanie Masotti.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on CTV Windsor and AM 800. We are starting with breaking news. Windsor police has charged a 31-year-old man with first-degree murder following a homicide early Tuesday morning. A 44-year-old man was found unresponsive in the parking lot of Windsor Regional Hospital shortly after 5:30 Wednesday morning. The victim was rushed inside but was pronounced dead. Investigators determined the victim had suffered a fatal injury prior to being taken to the hospital. Police tracked a suspect to a house in the 9200 block of Broderick Road in LaSalle. 31-year-old Brandon Lay has been charged with first-degree murder. Investigators say the suspect and victim were known to one another and believe the incident to be isolated. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Windsor Police Major Crimes Unit. Now, road rage is on the rise in Windsor. 18 cases since the beginning of this year. And police say in some cases, those everyday driving disputes are turning into criminal offenses. CTV's Sanjay Maru joining me with more details on this tonight. Sanjay.
Yeah, like you mentioned, Windsor police say while most of these driving disputes start as minor ones, they can quickly escalate into something much more serious. In fact, according to police, by the time officers arrive at many road rage calls, the situation has already escalated to the point where drivers don't even remember what sparked the conflict in the first place. Since the start of 2026, Windsor police say they have received 18 calls for incidents of road rage. In fact, 2 weeks ago, a disagreement between 2 drivers escalated in a parking lot fight, leaving one person with serious injuries. Windsor police are now asking for the public's help to identify a suspect.
A lot of the times when we go into our vehicles and we're on our way somewhere, we have started off already late. We have a timeline to keep, and that makes us as humans just want to be more aggressive.
Because road rage is not classified under the criminal code, Windsor police say these incidents often result in charges for assaults, dangerous driving, or offenses of the Highway Traffic Act. Here at this driving school, instructors say many of these conflicts stem from unclear or misleading actions. One example, using your turn signal, which should be activated the moment your vehicle begins to slow down to approach the turn. But there is an exception.
If there's somebody pulling out from a driveway before your turn, you want to hold on of your signal because that person pulling out might think that you are turning into the driveway they're coming out from. They're going to start honking, and then that's because it's you that you gave the miscommunication. You misled the other person.
The Ontario Driver's Handbook points to tailgating, speeding, failing to yield the right of way, and cutting in front of someone too closely as aggressive driving behaviors that can lead to a road rage incident. And if you are the one about to let their anger get the best of them, the Ministry of Transportation says not to retaliate for what you believe to be inconsiderate behavior.
You don't want to get into an argument or a conflict with those. Just leave them alone.
But what do you do if an angry driver decides to follow you?
Please do not go to your house. Go to a well-lit area where you know there may be a lot of cameras around. You don't know if the other person has a weapon or has something else that can hurt you. So please do not engage in the situation.
Even if an incident is not reported right away, officers can still follow up after the fact using license plates, dash cams, or surveillance video.
And Sanjay, we know cameras are everywhere nowadays.
Yeah, and that's why police say even if you think no one is watching, especially when you're acting aggressively, which is usually when your judgment is at its lowest, chances are someone's watching.
Okay, thank you, Sanjay, for this.
Thank you.
Police are looking for 4 suspects following what is described as a group assault earlier this month. Police say around 2:30 a.m. on February 8th, 4 people walked into a business in the 400 block of Olette Avenue and got into a fight with a lone man. The victim sustained significant but non-life-threatening injuries. Police say the 4 people were dropped off in a silver Dodge Caravan. The first man is described as white with dark hair, a mustache and goatee, wearing a white t-shirt, black pants and white sneakers. The second, a white man, had slicked back dark hair. He was wearing a white long-sleeve shirt, black vest and black pants. The third is described as having medium-length dark hair and a beard, in a white t-shirt, black pants, white sneakers and a hat. And the fourth is a man with shaggy dark hair, wearing an olive or tan t-shirt, black pants, white-soled sneakers and a thick chain necklace. Charges have been withdrawn against a man previously accused in connection with a 2024 apartment fire that displaced more than 100 residents in Chatham. Police say Leonard Creason was located in St. Thomas months after the August 25th blaze at 99 McNaughton Avenue West. The fire tore through the roof of the complex, leaving much of the building unlivable, with only one section remaining undamaged. The blaze forced a mass evacuation and prompted a significant emergency response. However, court officials confirmed the charges against Greason were withdrawn on February 18th, citing no reasonable prospect of conviction. No further details have been released at this time. Let's go to CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald, who joins us for a first look at the weather tonight from the Weather Center. Gary.
Good evening, folks. Stefanie, you know, I think this fogginess continues tonight. Mist and rain, combination of the two. Right now, a cool-ish, if not cold, 2 degrees. It is damp, obviously, and reduced visibility continues to be a concern for all travelers. Of course, our average high is +1. We got up to 4 degrees today, but it didn't feel very mild for a day in which temperatures were anticipated to go as high as 7 or 8. Rain showers in the vicinity. Now freezing rain is to the north and east of us. Most of it, thank goodness, is over Lake Huron. I'll talk about a rain-snow mix coming in the next, say, 48 hours for us. That'll take us into the weekend and perhaps even beyond. That's coming up. For now, I'll send it back to you at the desk.
The town of LaSalle looking at a potential licensing system for short-term rentals like Airbnbs. Officials are weighing a program that would require operators to register and follow rules around fire, building, and safety standards. The licenses would also require liability insurance and come with a fee. Council is set to review a report on the idea Monday night and is asking residents to share their feedback before any decision is made. And in Amherstburg, Council will debate the future of Centennial Park at Monday's meeting. The town is considering 2 redevelopment options, each costing just over $1 million. The recommended plan includes 2 fenced tennis courts, 2 basketball courts, an 800-meter walking trail with benches and trees, 10 accessible parking spaces, and 4 outdoor chess and checker tables. The alternative plan features premium acrylic courts, but no walking trail. Deputy Mayor Chris Gibb says public opinion is divided. Some residents want upgrades now, while others prefer to reserve funds for other infrastructure needs. Council previously set aside $530,000 with additional money allocated from reserve funds. Centennial Park on Victoria Street South was once home to the town's arena and other recreational facilities. Long-term residents have been calling for its redevelopment for years.
We lost a public pool. We lost 4 baseball diamonds. So, you know, it's something that long-term residents of Amherstburg have been calling for us to redevelop this park. So we will see what council decides, if it's worth the investment, or if it's something that we should keep our powder dry, so to speak, for other infrastructure needs.
One of the only times where winning a silver medal can still feel heartbreaking unfolded on the ice in Italy today. Canada's women's hockey team played a great game, but in the end they lost to the U.S. in overtime. Kristen O'Neill opened the scoring with a shorthanded goal early in the second period, giving Canada the lead and hope for fans watching in Milan and across the world. Canada's goalie Anne Renee Desbian was stellar, but the U.S. scored late in the third period, which meant overtime and eventually an American victory. The final score was 2-1 for the U.S. And you can imagine the reaction at local bars. Heartbreak in John Max and sports bars across the city. Fans stopping by through the afternoon for the game. One they tell CTV News carried a little extra weight amidst heightened Canada-U.S. tensions. Some folks even working from the bar posted up with a laptop and all. In the end, yes, disappointment. The team didn't claim goal, but satisfaction in the performance overall.
But it's a heartbreaker. Both teams played great. If you want to compare it to the game that we lost, 5-1 to, Canada put their whole heart into it. Again, it's devastating because everything going on with our border right now. But let's hope the men can pick it up and bring one home.
Meanwhile, the Premier of Ontario is getting into the Olympic spirit. In a post on X, Premier Doug Ford says to help everyone get in the spirit of the Games, he's directed his education minister to make sure all students are able to watch the remaining Team Canada hockey games that take place during school hours, including today's game. He adds, quote, "Let's all come together to cheer on Team Canada as they bring home Olympic gold." So we want to know, what do you think? Should all students be able to watch the Team Canada hockey games during school hours? Go to our website to cast your vote, ctvnewswindsor.ca. Yesterday we asked if you are pinching pennies at the grocery store. Out of around 700 votes, 77% of respondents say yes, they are. Now set your alarms and maybe chill the champagne. While most of Windsor may be hitting the snooze button, bars across the city can start pouring at 6 a.m. thanks to a special city council designation tied to the 2026 Winter Olympics. As CTV's Bob Belichico shows us, the hospitality business is gearing up for what they hope will be a golden moment.
Whether it's 8 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock at night, plus it's Canada, you have to watch.
Fans will be able to watch and have a drink starting at 6 a.m. from now until Sunday after City Council voted for and were granted temporary extension of liquor service and hours.
We strongly urge people, as strong as we can, to be responsible with their choices in the context of this opportunity. But let's get people together. Let's root for Canada and let's go for gold.
Anticipation is high as Canada's men's hockey team gets set for the semifinals Friday. If they advance, the final is scheduled for Sunday morning at 8 a.m. Now the trick is to get Canada past Finland and the United States past Slovakia. If that happens and both teams make it to the gold medal match, then a club like Kubota would definitely open up on Sunday morning for an 8 a.m. game.
We're going to be open on Sunday. If Canada's playing against the U.S., for sure we're going to be open. As soon as I found out, when you called me, I came right out to the bar, talked to the girls, said, anybody have a problem? They all said, we'll all come in if you want us to.
The GOAT and others will have breakfast.
You can just have a bite to eat and a Virgin Caesar or a mocktail or a coffee and just enjoy the atmosphere with a bunch of people.
No breakfast, but our breakfast will be Bloody Caesars, Bloody Marys. That's a perfect drink in the morning, and it's very appetizing, it's filling.
The extension is a boost to the hospitality sector.
The months of January and February can always be challenging for the hospitality industry, but with the Olympics on, we've definitely seen an increase in foot traffic for people coming out and supporting their country.
Go Canada. And fans, well, they'll gladly leave the coziness of their home if Canada makes it to the final.
Absolutely. It's a lot more fun, a lot more hyped up.
Absolutely. I would get up at 6 o'clock to be here by 7 or 8 o'clock to watch Canada and hopefully win the gold.
Watching it with 50, 100, 200 other people is just going to create an atmosphere that, again, it's going to create a memory that you'll never forget.
Bob Belichico, CTV News.
A group of Windsor auto workers is celebrating a major milestone today, their 700th blood donation. They call themselves Blood, Burgers, and Beer. And as CTV's Chris Campbell shows us, what started nearly 3 decades ago as a workplace initiative has turned into a lasting tradition, Chris.
Yes, Stephanie, this all started back in 1999 when a few guys working the midnight shift at Chrysler's decided to donate blood together. Almost 30 years later, they're still at it, gathering for lunch before heading to the clinic every 8 weeks.
700.
700.
Yeah.
700.
They meet for burgers and beers, then roll up their sleeves. The group calls itself Blood, Burgers, and Beers, but it didn't start that way.
When I got into Chrysler's, they offered a program where they would cover us to go donate blood. And so I started donating on my own. I go, hey, let's donate together. So we started donating together. We slowly recruited new people, and that's how it started.
Back then, working midnights, they called themselves Blood and Breakfast. Even as shifts changed, clinics closed, and donations took them on the road to Chatham and Kingsville, they kept showing up.
We've been doing it for almost 30 years, which is crazy. I never would have thought it. And it's a good time to socialize and catch up with the guys.
What began as co-workers has become family.
It's just the friendship, right? Like, you build this up over all these years. This is family for us because we spend so much time together working in the factory.
There's even a little incentive for first-timers.
To get a new guy in, they got to know that when they come for the first time, they are paying for the lunch. So we know they'll come back for their free lunch.
But beyond the laughs, the impact is serious.
So just at the end of January, that last cold spell, we lost 1,500 donations across the country. So the need is constant.
Canadian Blood Services says winter disruptions can quickly shrink supply, making dedicated groups like this one especially valuable.
It's fantastic. We appreciate support from groups like that. And I think it's a great way to give back to your community and have a little fun while you're doing it.
And the guys aren't done yet.
Well, I'm looking forward to 1,000. I want to hang in there to 1,000.
1,000 donations, 7 or 8 more years, plenty more burgers and beer, and a lot more lives helped along the way.
The group donates every 8 weeks and says they're always looking for new members as long as they're willing to buy lunch for the first time. You can find upcoming donation clinics and book an appointment through the Canadian Blood Services website. Stephanie?
Heartfelt. Okay, Chris Campbell, love this. Thank you so much. Now, do you have a special story idea like this one? We want to hear about it. Text us at 10400. You can also send photos and video. Still ahead on Windsor's news leader, former Prince Andrew arrested over public misconduct allegations. Tomorrow, from boating and RV parking to short-term rentals, residents are unhappy as Tecumseh moves to modernize decades-old zoning rules. That's tomorrow at 6 on CTV News. Start your day with the latest local news. By signing up for our newsletter, you'll get direct local content straight from CTV Windsor to your inbox, including top stories, the forecast, and videos. You can sign up at ctvnewswindsor.ca. A blockbuster moment in British and royal history. The King's brother, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, arrested after suspicion of misconduct in public office. It's related to allegations that as special British trade envoy, he shared sensitive information with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Andrew arrested on his 66th birthday. CTV's Abigail Beeman has more on the investigation and the implications.
Police stand outside Sandringham Estate, home to former Prince Andrew, later seen leaving a police station in this vehicle. The arrest on suspicion of misconduct in public office comes after police said they were looking into allegations Mountbatten Windsor had passed on documents to the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein while he was working as a trade envoy.
It truly is a seismic moment for this country, and I think for the monarchy as well.
So what's your reaction to your brother's arrest?
King Charles wasn't answering questions Thursday about his little brother, but released a statement saying he learned the news with the deepest concern and the law must take its course. Mountbatten Windsor spent a decade as trade envoy. He made about a dozen visits to Canada in that period. Emails released in the Epstein files suggest he shared UK government reports in 2010. Mountbatten Windsor has always denied wrongdoing.
Whether those details that were passed on by Andrew to Epstein were all part of his job and part of his responsibilities, well, that's an open question. However, the official guidance for trade envoys was that they have a duty of confidentiality.
The family of Virginia Giuffre says the arrest is a win for Epstein victims. She died by suicide in May and in 2022 settled a lawsuit accusing the former prince of sexually abusing her as a teenager.
I think we're very hopeful that this is the start of the domino effect. This is where the house of cards starts falling.
Police released a short statement after the former prince was seen leaving the police station, saying he was released under investigation with some police searches of royal property still underway. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
Ottawa has unveiled new measures to better protect and support Canadians from rampant extortion, especially business owners. The goal is to give police the teeth to help detect and disrupt offenders. CTV's Adrian Gabriel on the staggering growth of this criminal activity and the protections currently in the works.
A jarring scene that's been playing out across the country, from Brampton, Ontario to Surrey, BC.
For too many people, extortion is not an abstract concept anymore.
The federal government announcing that FinTrack will embed with local Canadian law enforcement as they try and work together to fight violent extortions.
When we follow the money, we expose the networks behind these crimes. We identify those which are responsible.
For more than 2 years, homes and businesses predominantly owned by members of the South Asian community have been targeted. The individuals behind this shooting in Brampton last month recorded themselves, then sent the homeowner this video, demanding $500,000. Last year, police in Surrey, BC were made aware of 133 reported extortion attempts. In Calgary, there was another 17. In Peel region west of Toronto, police were notified of 476 incidents, with many more believed to be going unreported. Over the last 2 years, CTV News has been investigating multiple violent extortion attempts from coast to coast. We've spoken with some Indo-Canadians so fearful for their lives, they began wearing bulletproof vests before leaving their homes.
Are you wearing one right now?
Yes, I do.
Can we see it?
Yes. In February 2024, CTV News spoke with an individual who claimed he'd carried out multiple extortions while taking orders from an organized crime leader in India.
How many targets have you hit? How many homes? How many businesses?
In Canada, like around, I think 30 or 35, 40.
The federal Conservatives say the government's announcement today will do little to keep Canadians safe, with public safety critic Frank Caputo sharing his belief that criminals don't comply with regulations and they will find a new way to launder their crime money unopposed by weak Liberal laws. The federal government says that private financial institutions will also be helping track down the money trail. Previously, the RCMP has linked the Lawrence Bishnoi gang out of India with extortions in BC, Alberta, and here in Ontario.
Adrian Gabriel, CTV News.
With Canada's current trade mission to Mexico wrapping up, attention turns now to a review of the Canada-U.S.-Mexico trade agreement. And there's concern as CTV's Michael Couture reports it could be in jeopardy.
It's about time that we are less reliant and more resilient.
Finance Minister François-Philippe Champagne believes Canadians understand the reality of the situation. While President Donald Trump continues to say he could walk away from CUSMA, the New York Times is reporting 2 Canadian officials involved in trade discussions say expectations for a full renewal of the deal are very low. Still, the minister isn't ready to give up hope yet.
So we'll continue to make the point and keep telling them that we're ready at the table whenever the parties want to review CUSMA.
Now, it comes as the minister overseeing trade with the U.S. just wrapped up a trade mission to Mexico.
There's no division as between the interest of Mexico and Canada in committing ourselves to the trilateral trade agreement.
This trade expert believes threats from the White House are part of the negotiation, but Canada needs to continue making a case for CUSMA.
To members of Congress, to state governments, to U.S. business, to underscore
how important this agreement is to the United States.
There is a sense of urgency to end the trade war with the U.S. According to Statistics Canada, this country's trade deficit grew to $31.3 billion last year, the largest since the COVID-19 pandemic. Overall exports are down slightly, but the Canadian economy is slowly shifting away from the U.S., with 5.8% fewer exports going south. And exports to countries excluding the U.S. rose by 17.2% in 2025.
We have what the world wants, whether it's gone from critical mineral, from energy, from natural resources.
The finance minister adds while Canada wants to work with the U.S., there are other trading opportunities out there. Mike Lecouteur, CTV News, Ottawa.
A final debate will be held tonight between the 5 candidates hoping to become the next leader of the federal NDP. The candidates are filmmaker Avi Lewis, Alberta MP Heather McPherson, dock worker Rob Ashton, social worker Tennille Johnston, and organic farmer Tony McQuail. The debate will be held tonight in British Columbia. Voting for the NDP's next leader will begin on March 9th, with the winner being announced 3 weeks later. General Motors is pledging new investments in its Oshawa assembly plant a few weeks after cutting the 3rd shift there. Around 500 people were directly laid off at GM, with several hundred more positions slashed at suppliers that depended on that shift. The automaker now says it will spend $63 million to upgrade stamping operations at the Oshawa plant. GM has been pulling back on production in Canada as the Trump administration has gutted support for electric vehicles and imposed tariffs on the auto industry. GM Canada's president says the investment underscores Oshawa's importance in the company's full-size truck portfolio. Canada's main stock index was up as the price of oil climbed. In Toronto, the TSX gained 205 points. In New York, the Dow fell 267, the Nasdaq dropped 71. The Canadian dollar is down 1/10 cent. On commodity markets, gold lost $12 an ounce and oil gained $1.35 a barrel. Stitching comfort. Coming up from Windsor to British Columbia, local quilters showing their compassion for a grieving community.
Let's take a look at our CTV News weather snapshot. More fog and this lovely capture of it. Thank you, Sue, for sharing your image with us. Just ahead, we'll talk fog, more fog, and fog on top of that with rain and maybe snow, a mixture. As we head towards the weekend, our forecast with the entire story coming up. You won't want to miss it.
Discussion here at Windsor City Hall.
Windsor's top stories.
A major project is about to get underway.
Breaking news alerts.
Severe weather is a possibility.
And watch live.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
Download the CTV News app. From moment to moment, things change.
Mayday, mayday! We need more crews at this location.
CTVNewsWindsor.ca is Windsor's #1 source for online news. Watch every story from wherever you are the moment it happens. Plus exclusive content and must-see viewer video. Don't miss a moment. Windsor's leading online news source, CTVNewsWindsor.ca.
The fog still lingering. Gary joins me again for an extended look at the weather. Gary.
Dense fog right now through this evening, and then we're seeing a big transition potentially. Boy, this forecast has been a tricky one. The computer model's not showing a lot of congruency. We're always looking for a consensus as we predict the future. Looking at the parameters, the elements involved, still a moist layer. Atmosphere really saturated at the surface, hence the fog, the mist, the light drizzle. Cooler temperatures now as a northerly influence of wind, that colder air is suppressed temperatures, so we are struggling to get to 4 degrees Celsius. The air quality isn't bad. It's better than yesterday. It's a 2 on a scale of 1 to 10. The lower the number, the better. The winds are picking up this hour. We'll see gusts in the 40 to 50 range, possibly as high as 60. I think this simulation is overextending and perhaps overemphasizing the winds. I don't anticipate them being strong as 60 to 75, but it's going to be breezy. 2 degrees now, both in Windsor, Essex, Chatham, Kent. We've been in and out of some rain at times, and the wind chill factor makes it feel like -2 to -3 between Windsor, Essex, Chatham, Kent under said conditions right now. It is cold across the prairies, even BC when we look towards the Pacific realm. 2 degrees in Vancouver. We're at +1 in Toronto, and in between that, -21 in Calgary, -22 in Regina, about -5, -6 in Winnipeg. Lots of snow in northwest Ontario. Meanwhile, warm enough to see even some isolated freezing rain crossing right over the heart of Lake Huron, headed towards Georgian Bay, and that means the eastern shores of Lake Huron and the Grey Bruce region, the Bruce Peninsula proper. And then look at this cold air swirl in with this area of low pressure, and that means some snow. We'll see rain changing over to snow in the next, say, 30 to 48 hours. I think it's mostly mild enough to see rain, but as we head towards Friday and then Friday night into Saturday morning, there will be some snow, some light, wet flakes, and then into some icy precipitation potentially. So that's what I'm looking out for Friday night into Saturday morning. Highs of 7, then 3, then +1 flurries Sunday, Monday -1, and then -1, +2, +6. Tuesday through to Thursday. The next 4 days, very wintry-like again. Your 7-day forecast, courtesy of Intercare Siles.
A major funding boost is helping expand support for seniors across Windsor, Essex. MPP Anthony Liardi is celebrating a $600,000 GROW grant from the Ontario Trillium Foundation awarded to the Community Support Centre. The funding supports the growth of the Windsor Essex Compassion Care Community Program, which connects trained volunteers with seniors to assess their social, mental, and physical well-being, set goals, and build stronger support networks. Delivered in partnership with the Windsor Essex Community Housing Corporation, the initiative aims to reduce isolation, improve quality of life, and help seniors stay connected in their communities.
It's meeting our seniors residents where they're at, literally where they're at in their in the places that they live in the buildings that they occupy, but also emotionally, mentally where they're at in their chapter of their lives.
Meantime, the University of Windsor is receiving new provincial funding for freshwater research. The Ontario government handing over $50,000 to support research into local fisheries and aquatic ecosystems. The funding is part of a broader $235,000 investment in 7 projects across the province. In Windsor, the work will focus on issues like invasive species and changing water conditions, which can have fish and habitat impacts. Other universities, including Ottawa and Lakehead, are also receiving funding. An 11-year-old Ottawa girl has an ambitious goal. She's trying to raise $50,000 to support children with cancer. And as CTV's Peter Sperling reports, her efforts are inspiring others, even gaining national recognition.
Same rules. Brooke Milo is an 11-year-old Ottawa girl with an inspiring $50,000 goal.
I'm raising money for kids that are fighting cancer right now.
Already nearing the halfway mark, she has raised more than $22,000.
Well, I've had lots of bake sales and fundraisers.
And for her, the inspiration is personal. Motivated to give after watching her grandfather donate his hair as part of a fundraiser years ago. Since then, she has donated her hair 3 times.
About to here, and then I cut it and it was like to there.
She has a new motivation now after learning a classmate was diagnosed with cancer.
Well, I was very sad and I wanted to help him.
Everyone, please welcome Brooke to the show!
The ambitious efforts aren't going unnoticed. She caught the attention of national celebrity Mary Berg, appearing on her TV show, The Good Stuff.
Okay, so that is a lot of donation.
Her own several minutes of fame motivating other students and teachers to join the cause.
I just think it's a really big accomplishment.
She's just a really inspiring person in general, and I love that she's trying to help somebody in our class too.
I think it's a wonderful thing. Brooke has proven to be a very authentic person in everything that she does.
For Brooke, she has faith that fundraisers can help with a cure.
Hopefully doctors can find a cure for cancer.
And those that see her daily say there's no limit to what she can achieve.
Not only does she raise all this money for cancer research and for kids with cancer, but she's like a volleyball player, a swimmer, a good student, and she's a kind human.
A young girl giving the gift of hope while motivating others along the way.
It's honestly very fun to have big sales and fundraisers, and I feel like that if I keep donating money to cancer, then other people will.
Peter Sperling, CTV News.
Coming up on What's Up YQG, we're going to learn a little Spanish here at the Treehouse.
Me gusta reír.
Me gusta reír.
Perfect. Stay tuned for more.
One week after tragedy struck the community of Tumbler Ridge, BC, a group of Windsor quilters are looking to sow a message of support from thousands of kilometers away. Needles at the ready, they're preparing quilts to warm residents rocked by the mass shooting. CTV's Robert Lothian has that story.
Connecting each piece of fabric, quilter Marianne McLean considers the needle's direction, the desired pattern, and perhaps most important, the quilt's future home.
In the grand scheme of things, when you're making a quilt, sometimes you think about the people that you're making it for.
Right now, those people are members of the reeling community in Tumbler Ridge, BC. Last week, 8 people were killed by a shooter in an attack that spanned a northern BC school and residence. Looking to help, members of the Windsor Quilters Guild are trying to stitch together hope for those who need it.
It's just what we do, and it's nice to know that they have support from afar, and even from Windsor.
A guild member visiting BC first pitched the idea. Collaborating with quilting groups across the region, 15 quilts are already prepared to go. Warming figures and creative patterns, quilts are made for those of any age or gender.
It's a hug from far away, and makes us feel good.
Longtime quilter Sue Inkster, who herself lost a child at a young age, says sending messages of support is the Canadian thing to do. During past tragedies, like the 2018 Humboldt Broncos bus crash, Inkster says Windsor's quilters answered the call.
Feeling the sorrow they're feeling, and knowing that you're too far away to do anything, saying anything doesn't help because we know that pain, so a quilt is a good answer.
The Guild is working to determine how to transport the quilts to BC, believing their arrival will carry a message to a community thousands of kilometers away.
They need to be comforted, and they need to know that we're along with them. It's warm, and it's a hug, and somebody somewhere is thinking about me.
Robert Lothian, CTV News, Windsor.
Turning now to our weekly segment, What's Up YQG, with Johnny Parks from our sister station 89X and our own Melanie Kentner. Now, you're going to tell us about the Laugh-A-Rita this weekend.
Yeah, 2 of our favorite things, margaritas and comedy. Johnny, sounds like a great combo.
Yeah, I'm actually trying to get one over. Can I get a marg, please? We're here at Treehouse with Andre and Vilma, the organizers. Tell us about Laugh-A-Rita.
Well, it's actually February 22nd. It's National Margarita Day, so we just wanted to incorporate 2 awesome things, margaritas and comedy, all in one show.
Love the sounds of that. So what comedians will be taking the stage?
We have a bunch of comedians. I won't list them all, but we have some local comedians from Windsor, and I'm bringing some people from Detroit over, so it's going to be a great show. A lot of comics from everywhere.
Sounds great. And of course, we want to know more about the margaritas.
So we're going to feature some special flavored margaritas. We're going to have a spicy margarita, a devil's margarita, and we're also going to have some margarita towers.
Woo. Awesome. Well, I love the Latin theme, so maybe you can teach us some Spanish while we're here.
Okay. I can teach you how to say, I want to order a margarita in Spanish.
Perfect.
Okay.
Yes.
Quiero una margarita.
Quiero una margarita.
Quiero una margarita.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
How did I get margarita wrong?
We'll keep trying, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well, we'll put the links to ticket information online, and there are a couple other events going on that we got to talk about, including a comedian at the casino, Jen.
Yeah, got Hannah Berner tonight at Caesars going on.
Perfect, and some wrestling in LaSalle too.
Yeah, NCG Wrestling at the event center at LaSalle Landing. That's going on Saturday. Practice my pile drivers, you know.
Awesome, action-packed, and of course, once again, we have all those links. Thanks, guys. Still time to learn some more Spanish.
Margarita.
Margarita. Margarita. That's what's up, YQG.
This is your CTV Windsor Our Community Calendar. Step back in time to the Roaring 20s and join us for the Great Catsby Gala, a glamorous evening celebrating 100 years of caring at the Windsor-Essex County Humane Society. See you next time on Our Community.
It's time to check in on what's happening now with Kate Otterbein. Now, Kate, a new report is showing that some American businesses actually ended up paying triple in tariffs, this happening last year.
Yes, and this is all despite the Trump administration's claims that foreigners are covering these costs. The analysis by JP Morgan Chase shows that figure was paid by mid-size U.S. businesses. These mid-size companies make up 48 million workers in the U.S. and have had to find ways to absorb the tariffs by either passing the cost along to customers, employing fewer workers, or accepting lower profits. The research doesn't say how additional costs are affecting the economy, but it does expose that tariffs are being paid for by U.S. firms. We've got those details and more online at ctvnewswindsor.ca.
And police have charged a teen in a threat investigation that's happening in Bell River.
Yes, and it was actually a 13-year-old that was charged with uttering threats. Very limited details were offered on the incident, but what we do know is there were no public safety concerns at the time and no injuries were reported. The Lakeshore teen's identity is protected due to their age, but the message is that threats are never okay. Anyone with information that could help the investigation is encouraged to contact OPP. And in our social spotlight tonight, staff at a German hospital were very surprised when a hurt bird essentially checked himself in for medical help. Witnesses say the cormorant showed up with a hook stuck in its beak and began pecking at the glass door to the ER. Medical staff and firefighters worked together to remove the hook and treat the wound before they relocated him to a park behind the building. One of the medics involved in the rescue said that they had never experienced anything like that in their 15-year career. Now, that's pretty impressive, and clearly that poor bird was in desperate need for help.
Oh, yeah, and of course, firefighters were there to be there at the rescue. But wow, word around the street was that the ER is the place to go if you have an injury like that.
Yeah,
incredible.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah. Okay, Kate, if any of our viewers at home has a video they want to share with us, how can they do it?
Yes, you can send us an email at newsnow@bellmedia.ca or text it to 10400.
Okay, and that's what's happening now. Thank you, Kate.
And my grandma, 88 years old, she has never flown in her life.
Now cleared for takeoff. When we return, an 88-year-old takes her first flight, and her grandson was at the controls. This fog makes for beautiful photos, I must say.
Yeah, that's my street. Look at that.
Gorgeous.
Could barely find my car this morning. Okay, the fog will be in the past by the weekend. Why? Because, Stefanie, we're going to see clouds rolling in that could bring a rain-snow mix. This is going to be an interesting next, say, 48 to 72 hours as temperatures take a nosedive. Tomorrow, rain-snow mix possible pre-dawn. We'll see a high of about 6 or 7 degrees Celsius. And then Saturday, Sunday combined, 3, then +1. I'm anticipating light dusting and flurries. And then the average temperature Monday through to Wednesday is about 0. More flurries possible. And then we're up to 2, then 6 Wednesday and Thursday. Real steep dive. The overnights will mean some freezing with all those puddles there. Watch your step.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, Gary. Now, we all have our first job, our first time riding a bike or driving a car. Well, at 88 years old, one woman experienced her first airplane flight. And to make it even more special, her grandson was the pilot. Katerina Lim gives us a glimpse at this heartfelt moment.
Good morning, folks. You're welcome aboard once again on Flight 4057 with service to Chicago here.
That was the voice of First Officer Alex Shoup, an American Airlines pilot. And this is his grandma, Frances. Thanks to video provided by American Airlines, it captures the moments of the 88-year-old's first ever flight. The extra special part? Alex flew the plane his grandma rode over the weekend. But before takeoff, he made a heartwarming announcement.
And my grandma, 88 years old, she has never flown in her life. And this is her very first flight ever. So pretty special experience for me and for her.
Flying for Envoy Air, a regional carrier for American Airlines, Alex piloted Flight 4057 from La Crosse to Chicago, a short 35-minute flight. Alex's parents and brother were also on board to remember this unforgettable experience.
They are clearly so proud of one another. Like the way he talks about his grandmother, so sweet. And you could just see the smile on her face. She's so proud of him.
And she's cute.
Yeah, and she's cute. Are you looking, Gary? What is going on?
She had a real smile on her face.
Yeah.
I think she was probably a little afraid, but she knew her grandson was going to do a good job and get her all of them safely.
Yeah. On behalf of our dedicated team here at CTV News Windsor, thank you for watching.
For updates throughout the evening, go to CTV News Windsor.ca. Travis and I will be back with your only late local newscast at 11. See you then.
Good night.